what do we call it? Sexy time? Interpersonal relations.
People hooking up overseas.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call that.
Deployment hookups.
Welcome to the POG Talk Podcast with Steve and Bobby.
There you go. Deployment hookups. That's perfect.
We're starting this off
People
fucking
banging.
Fantastic today. Just fantastic.
People banging overseas. Not us, but
no.
It is what it is.
So, in case I didn't say this the last episode, I don't really give a shit. Do you, boo-boo? Do you? Maybe keep it a little bit quieter so not everybody fucking knows about it.
Right. No, and that's the thing is there's some people that wanted it to be out there because they wanted to get caught. They wanted to get in trouble because they were in Afghanistan or in Syria and they were on like a small base, nothing there. It was just a forward observation base.
They were miserable.
And they were miserable, or I don't know how bad it was in Jordan. I think that base was nice, but
I don't know. I didn't get to go.
I don't know. Yeah, right. And they just wanted to get caught so they could come back to the UAE, which our base sucked. But the nice part about our base was on the weekend, you could get a pass and then go into Dubai. When else are you going to get the opportunity to go to Dubai in your lifetime? And I know I will never, ever go because it's not cheap. It's all the way around the world. But just to be able to go out and see everything there, it was amazing. That's why people were intentionally getting caught and getting sent back to UAE because that's where all the naughty people went.
Yes.
Unless you did something really bad and they just had to send you home. But they're like, you just were fucking, not a big deal. We'll bring you here and you can do whatever shenanigans you want over here. Because that's really what it was. There was commanders that just turned blind eyes.
Well, I mean, what was that commander going to do? He got caught carrying his M9 on an airline by the Emiratis.
Well, yeah, we ain't getting into that topic. But yes, you're right. You really didn't have a foot to stand on, but whatever.
Little tip, everybody. Don't take your weapons on an airline. They don't like that, especially if you're going into a different country.
Yeah. Or don't take your weapon, because unless you were on a military exercise, you cannot take your weapon outside of the base because we were merely just guests in their country. And
we were there
they had very strict rules. They're like, we're allowing you to go and explore the country, get the culture, and spend your money, basically. But you are not in any way to show that you are military whatsoever in our country because there's a place for the military and it's not in the city.
Oh, it is not. It is absolutely not. You went on that training exercise, right? We had to have police escort just to...
I didn't go on that one. I did go to some other locations, and those we were in military uniform, but we were in like a GSA.
Yeah.
So, but no, I know you had to have police escort when our military vehicles left the gates. You couldn't go. You couldn't just drive a Humvee around Dubai. They didn't really want us even driving our Humvees on the base for that matter.
No, they wanted us not to do that. We weren't supposed to. That's why none of our crap ever went down the road. They had to get special permission to do driver's training.
Yeah. And there was they wanted it in like the remote part of base. So you can't go this way. You got to go this way.
Yeah.
And drive way the fuck over here. And don't you dare tear up our field. Our dirt field.
Don't go in the sand.
You dare tear that up. Because if you do, we're going to be mad. Dude, it's dirt.
Okay, fine.
It was just stupid. Like, golly.
Well, they didn't want us running for a long time either.
Well, they didn't want to see us, period.
No, they wanted us to stay on our little portion of the base, and that was it.
They're like, well, we need to be able to do PT, and running inside of our post is not really feasible. So, yeah. I mean, I did. I didn't leave the gate unless I had to. So, I would just run around base, and then that way you could see, maybe you catch somebody banging in the dark corner or something like that. Or like in the last episode, maybe you come upon two people doing combatives around the connexes.
Combatives by the connexes. Out by the road.
It's
Like,
nice,
seriously,
rough
but
sex.
why would there?
You know what? I don't know. But that was their thing. They liked it rough.
I can think of like 400 different places they could have done that. That would have been so much better for them.
Right. Like anybody could have just walked up on you or whatever, and
they could have at least gone out by the generators on that one corner that nobody ever fucking
could have went in the back of a dork wagon, the Wambulance, any of those places. The Wambulance at least has like beds, kind of.
kind of.
Kind of.
It's a flat spot.
Oh.
It's not full of sand.
Or there's actually some places that some of the people we're going to talk about today found and utilized often.
The chicken shack.
That's one.
Or any of the offices after everybody left at the end of the day.
Or AC connexes.
Yep.
Or computer lab.
Computer lab. Wasn't really the computer lab. That was the server room.
No. So remember there was the computer lab?
There was a computer lab. I forgot.
Yeah. And that's why
nobody ever used.
That's why we're trying to bring fiber to the base, was because that computer lab was running off of, or what the hell satellite was that?
I don't remember.
I can't remember either. But whatever. We had a satellite set up, and that's what ran the computer lab. It is slow as shit, but it was still internet. And it was meant for doing your online training so you stay current. It's like, this is slow as shit. How do you expect me to get anything done?
Well, it timed out all the time.
It timed out and that, but it was a lab. It was meant for guests on the base, because if you had a workstation or you had your position, whatever, you probably had access to a computer, and you were running off bigger satellites and not this tiny one that's meant for remote locations. Yeah.
I had a desk I shared with another dude.
I had my own computer. It was nice.
No, me and Slayton.
But I was always in the office.
Me and Slayton shared a computer. We shared a desk.
Yeah. There's times when trying to think. When we first got to country, I was in the office 20 hours a day. It was ridiculous. First month sucked. And I was just working nonstop. And that's why I hated life.
See,
that's why when I got to go into Dubai, this is amazing. Oh my God. This looks like the US.
There's actual civilization. It doesn't suck. It doesn't smell like poop.
That's true. And in a previous episode, we were talking about the Middle East. And I just want to clarify, when we were talking about that, we were talking about the US base in Kuwait. When you got off the plane, it smelled like shit and burning garbage and tires and all that, because that's what they did over there. But
fuel, poop.
Jet fuel, poop. And that's same with Iraq. It smelled the same way, but not everywhere in the Middle East smells like shit and poop. Dubai did not. Dubai was very clean. However, there was a giant mountain of garbage that we had to drive by. So there's our base and then Garbage Mountain. We're like, okay, so our base didn't exactly smell great, but the city of Dubai smelled great. It was beautiful.
Fine. It was
and
clean.
Everywhere else in the country smelled fine, but it's just where we were, it smelled. It's fitting. That's what they do to the army. Yep, we're going to put you next to Garbage Mountain.
Yeah.
And there used to be, and they had a landfill on base. Remember when they kicked the Canadians out? And they're like, oh, well, we'll come back eventually. And to make it so the Canadians couldn't come back, they turned their area into a landfill.
Well, they got the Canadians. So this was the story I got told. Correct me if I'm wrong. The story I got told was, when the Canadians were there, they caused so much havoc and were so disrespectful that they legitimately got kicked off of the base and out of the country because of fighting. And they had some dude almost kill somebody or something.
Right.
And
that was the story I heard. And yeah, they bulldozed their
They
whole
bulldozed
area
it all.
and
Yeah.
dumped garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't coming back. You're gonna have you're in a landfill if you want to come back.
They weren't allowed to come back. So
No, they made it permanent. This is you fuck around, you found out. You ain't coming back.
There's something to the whole Geneva checklist with Canada thing.
Apparently. But yeah, so and it's funny because our base was pretty much next to this garbage landfill. I mean, there was a little distance, but not a lot. That's why it smelled like shit and garbage. Oh, I just want to clarify that's what we were talking about in a previous episode. Was that episode 2? I can't. But no, it was episode 2. Episode 2. So I just want to clarify that the Middle East doesn't completely smell like shit. It's just where we were, where the army was, it smelled like shit because,
if anybody else wants to chime in and say anything about that, feel free.
Yeah, drop a comment. Go ahead.
Yeah, let us know.
I ain't saying all Middle East sucks. Kuwait City's beautiful.
I didn't get to go to Kuwait City.
Oh, it's very much like Dubai. Like Dubai is just ridiculous. It's a beautiful city, but then Dubai's like, your city's awesome. We want to be the best and coolest city, so we're gonna double the awesomeness and extremeness, and that's Dubai. I mean, if you're on that side of the world, that is the vacation spot. That is the most pristine place you could possibly go.
Remember
it was so
remember
it
the
was
black
cool. It was
van?
awesome.
Remember? You did hear about that?
No.
So me and Doc, and part of the safety brief that we got was, hey, keep an eye out for a completely ordered out van, Mercedes van.
No,
antennas all over it. That's sitting outside the base, and it's following our people around and doing stuff like that.
I know we had to keep an eye out for vehicles, and that must have been one of them, but
that's what
I just don't remember.
It was all signals intel stuff. We weren't supposed to, it's the same reason you weren't supposed to have your GPS on your watch and all that stuff. You weren't supposed to do any of that. Which
Right. Well, everybody that took a picture in Dubai, GPS tracker.
Yep. Here's your geolocation tag.
Right. But yes, no,
Also, I'm going to go ahead and say this. It's not super difficult to tell which group of dumbasses is the American troops.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, if I don't wear sleeves, I'm kind of standing out. It was funny when we did go into the city. We told everybody we were Canadians since we sound, since we're from Wisconsin, we sounded like Canadians, sort of. So we were just telling everybody we were Canadians.
I remember you doing that. That's right.
Well, especially me with all my oh yeahs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So it was just easier to just say we were Canadian, but everybody knew. Well, and it didn't help that Ricardo, when we would go into the city, would blast America, fuck yeah, in the GSA. Like, okay, they know we're man.
I don't know why anybody let him pick music. Like because I did runs with him to take people to the airport, and I did the music. I wasn't letting him do it.
No, me and him we teamed up a few times to do some runs and whatnot, and I can tell you one thing: the run that we had to do when we picked up the first sergeant and sergeant major, there was no music. There was none. We picked them up, just driving back all quiet and shit. How was your trip, sergeant major and first sergeant?
I don't know if our sergeant major really actually liked him.
Oh no. So our sergeant major did not like Ricardo at all, and our first sergeant knew him for a long time, so he got along with him because they grew up kind of together. But yeah, the sergeant major did not like him. So it was, dude, not doing anything stupid. You don't need to get in trouble.
I mean, our sergeant major was our first sergeant for a long time.
Right. So I was in Charlie Battery for a long time, and so I actually knew him for a long time. And so did Ricardo, because he was Charlie Battery. So until we all came to HHB. But yes, I knew all them for years.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ricardo actually grew up with First Sergeant, or at least I think they were in high school together.
I think they were in high school together or something like that.
They had the same friend group. I don't.
I know they don't like each other.
They don't like each other now, but then again, who does Ricardo like?
Us for some reason.
He likes us. He doesn't even like his wife. He don't like,
No.
he doesn't like
No.
himself most of the time. But yeah, sometimes he doesn't like it.
I need to shave. I'm starting to look like Ricardo.
No, you don't look like Ricardo yet.
Yeah, I'm starting to look like shit though.
You're a little, maybe a little dirty, but that's fine.
Okay, thank you, Bobby. I guess
you don't have the mustache curl yet.
You mean I don't look like a child molester?
Correct. You don't look like
Good.
a child molester.
This
so
is good.
You're
I always go for the I don't look like a child molester look, unlike Ricardo.
right. You
who's
don't look
just
like you
going for creepy old man.
You don't look like you've given up on life yet, but you know it is what it is. We are way off
topic.
All right, so
all right.
We are talking about overseas hookups. Yeah, we had so many hookups on our deployment, and I didn't even put in the list for my first deployment. I didn't talk about that. There was so many hookups from deployment, and we had to make a second part to it. So here we go.
We didn't, and then we got sidetracked. So like 2 months after I got there, month after I got there, is that when they started bringing people back?
Sounds
Stuff like
right.
that. Yeah. So we're gonna hit a couple of them. Yeah. No, you got to definitely talk about that. Do we want to talk about that first?
Well, we might as well. That's probably the oldest story.
Well, we'll tie this into the our first episode of this, where the 155 was running prostitution rings.
Drugs, prostitution.
So now we're going to go back to Bobby's first deployment.
Yes.
Take it away.
All right. So on my first deployment, this was 06, 07. This all happened in Iraq and Kuwait. So it was in both locations. So the first one was the Cedar Girls. Now, when we were, and the reason why is this shit got all over the place because they put photos and evidence online. So if it wasn't online, it was shared. So any of the guys that were taking pictures and videos, they saved it and they were copying, pasting on hard drives. So it got all over the place. It got to our base everywhere. So, all right, the Cedar Girls, which was a prostitution ring, those girls were charging for sexual encounters. And interesting whistleblowing one was one of the girls, a specialist. She comes home from deployment. She wanted to buy a car, which a lot of soldiers do. They come home, they buy a car. They're like, yeah, I got money. Yay. She bought a brand new Lexus in cash. So red flags went up. And needless to say, they looked into her background and overseas background and found out about this prostitution ring. And it got all over the region. Let's put it that way. Like everybody knew about it. But the thing is it got all over the place.
Yeah.
So you would think people would be more cautious and careful.
No.
But that wasn't the case. So on our base, on Navistar.
We're the military. We're retarded.
On Navistar, we didn't bring any females with us when we were there. Our battalion brought 0. Because we were told there was no housing for females where we were located. Not the case necessarily.
That
there was no housing. We were told that. But there was females on base. They were Navy girls that ran the medical shack or med station. And then there was one Army female. She was a lieutenant. She ran the MWR. So that was it. There was just a handful of females on base. Well, they had a whole little prostitution ring going on too. Lieutenant was the madam. She was the madam. She controlled it all.
Hey, man.
And made sure the girls were collecting money and doing their thing, you know? So the way it worked out is the Navy girls serviced all the lower enlisted. So basically E6 and below, they serviced, right? And the lieutenant, the one female lieutenant serviced all senior NCOs and officers. So there was one that stood out like big time was one of the first sergeants. It was Bravo's first sergeant. He was banging her.
I've heard about that.
Right. So he was banging her. And it's like, first sergeant banging her, right? And then that's how it kind of got out. And we kind of found out about this whole prostitution ring thing. Because then also that's after that like kind of came out. Like the rumors were going around. Then the Navy girls were getting caught doing stuff. There was if you want to call it a baseball field, it was really just a bullshit field. But she, with, I don't know what, some lower enlisted, got caught giving him a blowy on the baseball field. And you would think that once you got caught once, maybe not use that same location. No, then she got caught again blowing another dude in the baseball field. And that's when the madam had to put down a little bit more strict rules. If you get caught in a spot, don't go back to that spot.
Hide.
Right. And then there was one of the mechanics, like a bigger, not attractive mechanic, was hooking up with the not attractive Navy girl, more huskier Navy girl. And he's all like, don't be jealous because I'm getting my dick wet, like shit like that. And be like, that's true. I'm not, I got the whack shack, but that's all I got. People were like giving him shit. Look, you're with her. That's gross. And he's like, getting my dick wet. What are you getting? You got your whack shack. Sucker. So yeah, whack shacks were plentiful on our base because there was not enough Navy girls around. And I want to say the majority of soldiers did not want to pay for anything.
Hold on. Let's go back just a second. Did you just say there was not enough Navy girls to go around?
There's only a handful of them. And we weren't there we weren't at Navistar a full 12 months. By the time I don't know how many people they serviced, but then eventually we went to another base. And that had more females, but we weren't there super long. We were only there a couple months. It was very interesting to say the least.
This goes back to, I think it was episode 1 where I said that the 2 oldest professions were prostitution and soldier. I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Right.
Everybody
likes sex.
Right. I mean, it is what it is. And there was girls that would charge for it, and then there was girls like Lori that just had a sex addiction, and she didn't want to charge. She just wanted to have a good time.
Yep. Well, I mean, and that leads us into this last deployment for us at Dubai.
Girls that want to have a good time.
Yeah. So let's go with, we'll name her East. This is really the most tame out of all the stories we have for today, I think. Yeah, I think this is.
We'll see.
But anyway, so East was in Jordan or Syria or somewhere like that. Some fucking fob and got caught having a little sucky time in the incoming shelter.
Yeah. Right next to the barracks.
Yeah, right next to the barracks.
Or so close to the barracks.
Anyways, so East hated where she was at and wanted to get caught. Absolutely hated it. And she got caught by her platoon sergeant or something like that and sent back to Dubai. She lost all of her rank immediately, straight down to fuzzy.
Because she did it intentionally.
Yeah, okay, great. Her shit wasn't on Pornhub.
She did it intentionally. She fully admitted, yeah, I did this because I didn't want to be here anymore. That's the reason why she got busted.
Great. Awesome. You know what? What the fuck? But the E5 gets strapped down in the back of a Blackhawk on the flight line with 2 Warrens?
I'm not going to disagree with you. The punishment, it didn't make sense. And that was part of the problem with command. The command just, they weren't, it was weird.
Consistency. There was
no consistency. They never said, they just told us, don't be hooking up. If you get caught, there's going to be consequences. You'll probably lose rank, all that type of stuff. But there was no, hey, your first time, you're going to get busted down to this. Your second time, you're getting busted. There was no consistency. It was just whatever they felt was necessary.
They decided to make an example of her, I think.
Well, and she wasn't the first one to do it. After the first people getting caught and busted down, you would expect everybody else would not do it. And it's because she did it on purpose to get sent to another base. That's where they were like, hey, we need to make an example.
I guess my problem with the whole East thing is that there was no consistency in any of this because other people got brought back after all of that and nothing.
And there was other people that they knew were fooling around and never did anything about it.
Nothing.
And we're going to get to that.
We'll get to them. Well, the worst part about the East one was so we had a friend of ours, same last name, And everybody kept walking up to her in the smoke pit asking her what the fuck she did.
You mean East number 2?
Yeah. And she's like, I didn't do anything. I've been here this entire fucking time.
He's like, I did not do that.
Yeah. It was not me.
She got shit from people. Oh, I heard you did this.
Yeah. No, they legit walk up to her.
That was the other East.
Legit walk up to her in the middle when we were sitting in the smoke pit.
Right.
Were you there the night that they were both sitting in the smoke pit? Somebody walked up to Little East and asked her about it. And other East was sitting over in the corner, just quiet as a fucking dormouse.
I don't remember.
I was sitting there. I remember this one distinctly because Little East goes, it wasn't me, and glances over to the corner and goes, it was the other one. And I'm sitting there smoking a cigarette, trying not to laugh my ass off because it's just absolutely hysterical to me because she didn't point her out or anything else. She's just like, it wasn't me. It was the other one. And then the person left and then she looked over at her and went, thanks. You could see other one just try to shrink into herself even more.
Well,
I started laughing then.
Exactly, because not everybody thinks it was this one.
We all knew her as we'd been there with her the entire time. And we're all like, what the fuck happened?
Well, it was funny because it was an E6 that came up to her and said that. And it was just like instant foot in mouth.
That was the worst part and it wasn't lower enlisted. It was 6s and fucking.
Right.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, check your shit.
No. And that's why I think, well, one, you got along with everybody.
I tried to.
And I hung out with you. So it was just kind of like, you know what? You be yourself around us. We don't give a shit. You don't have to worry. I ain't going to bust you out on some shit because I don't care. I only care about my soldiers not fucking up. Everybody else, I don't really give a shit about. You can do whatever you want.
You had a rough time.
That's because I had some fucking dumb soldiers.
Oh, I'm aware. We'll get to one of them.
We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Let's move on to the chicken shack and some E6s.
Oh yeah.
And their weekend pass to Dubai. So no one got weekend passes. Not like 3-day passes, not 2-day passes, not any of that. We got
nothing. You got a couple hours.
I think we got 8. We could leave at like 9 a.m. and we had to be back by 1800 unless we got special permission.
No, you could come back later, and then people were fucking that up and coming back way later.
Yeah.
And then they moved that time down. So basically it was like a day pass.
Yeah. But nobody got to stay out Friday through Sunday.
No.
We got one day.
And the people that were breaking that rule was certain officer here and there that thought, whatever.
It doesn't apply to me.
It doesn't apply to me. So yeah.
So,
but anyways.
So the E6s, same unit, not our unit, and our battalion, not our unit. Apparently they'd done this before. We had the chicken shack, and they got caught back by the chicken shack a lot, which is where one of them was living by himself, and they got caught back there a bunch of times. We're walking back from there or walking to it.
Well, they were always together, and really they had no reason to be. They weren't in the same section or anything like that. They were always together. So, you guys aren't really hiding your relationship, and you're both married, not to each other. That was the big thing. That's what was pissing people off. I know my soldiers were pissed and hell-bent on they're married, not to each other.
Oh, no.
And everybody knows they are fucking. And
your troops
is not doing shit about it. That's what it was. We had some of our people were trying to catch them in the act.
Yeah.
And
that was the part that killed me was they were hunting them.
Caught them in very interesting situations together. And then whenever we had to deal with them, they were just like dicks to us. Guys, just leave them alone. They already hate us. We still got to deal with them. And they feel you're doing something wrong, and it is against Army policy. So they're not wrong. But yeah, their leadership did nothing about it. It was brought up to them. We'll look into it. We'll look into it. We'll start an investigation. Their leadership did nothing. They're like, whatever.
I
The
mean, in all
commander
fairness,
granted their pass, their overnight pass
their
together for them
weekend
to go
pass.
together. Their weekend pass.
They go
at
see a concert.
hotel. Yeah. Punishments were not the same. It all just depended on who you were and what your job was. I don't want my command to look bad because it was their soldiers that were doing the most getting in trouble and caught.
It really was. It really was.
Nah, I don't want that on my record. I'm trying to make major, so I don't want that.
Yeah.
Well, now
I mean,
think
our command
he's a
wasn't
major
any
now.
better.
I mean, it obviously
He is.
worked. Is he still a major, or did he make lieutenant colonel?
I don't know.
Last I know, he was a major, so it obviously worked by not.
Well, I know it worked for both.
Everyone.
I know it worked for both of them. Our commander and their commander. Sweep that
was
shit underneath the
E6s.
rug.
Yeah, everybody knew about it. Nobody wanted to do anything about it. I don't remember if the male E6, if his wife divorced him when he got home or not.
Not that I heard of.
Well, and it wasn't his first time being caught cheating, so he was cheating with other girls. So she knew he was probably cheating. She was waiting for command to
do something,
punish them, and then she would have that evidence, and then she could divorce them. But command never did anything, so yeah, I wasn't sure if they got divorced or not. Whatever.
Not my problem. That's up to them.
No,
but we'll do Team Money.
Team Money, my soldier.
Team Money.
This is the one that gave me a lot of headache. So Team Money. I will say Team Money was a very smart, intelligent soldier. She knew how to do her job as long as she wanted to. She's one of those people that when she was motivated, she was good at what she did. The problem is she had a switch. And if you said the slightest thing wrong, it could be just in the way you said it. She'd flip that switch and be a complete shitbag. Just fucking horrible soldier. You write her up and she's just like, I'm going to fight this. It's like, fuck me. Once again, you take the shit to command and they're like, well, we don't want to pursue this because it'll look bad. But anyway, so Team Money, this kind of started before deployment when I knew Team Money was going to be trouble. She came to our unit, I don't know how long before we deployed, but it was for sure a couple months before we deployed. And
she was there for 6-7 months before we deployed.
Yeah.
We all knew who she was.
Yeah, we all knew who she was. I had another soldier in our section. He was a computer guy. And he obviously liked breaking rules, but he kept it on the down low. He did not want people to know who he was hooking up with. And he was hooking up with a couple of different girls in the unit. But he kept it hush-hush. And every once in a while, he would say something. And it's like, wait, you hooked up with her too? But he kept it quiet. And not everybody knew. But anyways, Money didn't have a car or anything like that. So she would have to get dropped off at drills. My computer guy, I can give you a ride. It's not a big deal. You don't live that far from me. So he started taking her home and then come to find out that they started hooking up. And he didn't say anything and she didn't say anything at first. So they were hooking up before deployment. Then he got attached to another unit, still in the same battalion, just attached to another unit. And he was going to be at a different location. So we knew he was hooking up with her, but it's okay. They're in different locations. It's not going to be a problem. But then she wasn't just satisfied with that relationship. She's like, I need attention all the time. And my guy is in Jordan. So then she was looking at another unit with another computer guy. Their office was right next door to ours. And so I started noticing she was out of our office and in this other office. Now it wasn't a big deal necessarily because half of this other unit's office, the room was split in half. They had half and we had half. And it was kind of like our storage/server room. So for her to be in there, it was fine. It wasn't questionable. But then when she was in there all the time, that's when we're like, what the hell? So then I went to this other soldier. You guys a couple? And he's just like, no, we're just hanging out. Okay, so you're a couple. And he's like, we just hanging out. And I'm like, just know this chick's crazy. I'm just telling you now. And he's just like, oh, we're just hanging out. Not a big deal. Yeah. Well, comes to find out, so this dude, being another unit, he had access to AC Connexes. And that's where him and T Money were going to fuck. So they were hooking up. And when it started, in her head, she thought it was getting serious. Ooh, he's so sweet. Especially when she started talking about him all the time. Like, oh God, this is going to end really badly. And we even told him, she's like, what's the big deal? We're both the same rank and we're both single. It's fine. Yes. But at the same time, I don't want to ruin relationships between our unit and this unit. Okay. We have to work together. So don't fuck this up. And like I said, she has a switch that can flip like that. Well, she's hanging out in that other office, and she was being really clingy. And so then he's all, hey, I got to do my work. I got to do my job. And she's just not letting him do any work. And then he's like, you're really acting like a child. So cut it out. I need to work. Switch flipped. She destroyed his office. Just flipped shit everywhere. She didn't flip shit on our side of the office, just on theirs. And you could hear them yelling at each other because the walls are super thin. I go over there, what the fuck is going on? Why is all your shit all over the place? He didn't say anything. And I'm like, did you fucking do this? He called me a child. That doesn't give you the right to fucking flip shit. What the fuck? All right. I don't care what the fuck. I know you two are whatever, dating, whatever the fuck it is.
You're hanging
out. I don't give a shit. But what I will tell you is you better clean this fucking shit up, and I don't want to hear you guys fucking talking to each other anymore. All right? You do this on your own fucking time, not in the office. So she helped clean up, and they made peace, whatever. Went back to banging. Not a big deal. Right? So it was fine until his unit left. They got
rotated
shuffled around, whatever, rotated out. So now she's looking for a new boo, right? And she's can't hook up with anybody here. They already know. I don't want to get caught. So she volunteered because we were rotating people around to different bases. And so she's like, yeah, I want to go. I want to learn. I want to get experience. So, okay, fine. Go ahead. I figured, shit, she ain't here. She can't get in trouble here. She goes, Jordan, ends up hooking up with some E7.
Yep.
So she's banging this E7, right? This shit's getting around, right? Because then my computer guy that was in Jordan, hey, is she helping you out working? And he's like, no, she's just fucking this E7. He's just flat out, she's fucking an E7.
What
the fuck? Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, so I don't know what happened to this E7. I think she went and flipped shit on him too. And he's just like, no more, don't ever talk to me again, don't come near me. And so then she started focusing on my computer guy again. And then we found out, okay, they're hooking up again, right? Yeah, shit, we can't have them being a couple again, and they're just going to get in trouble. So we brought her back. And then he went and just started being a shitbag. He was fine until he was there. So then he started being a shitbag and got kicked out. I got a call from the E7 in charge of him. Just so you know, I'm putting your boy on an airplane. He's coming back to you. And I'm like, what do you do? He's just a piece of shit and he doesn't listen. He's doing everything. I'm like, well, write his ass up. Like fucking discipline him. He's there for a reason, to do his job. I can't do anything with him. It'd be easier if he was just gone. So they sent his ass back. So now I got T-Money and R together at our base. I told them, both of you better not fucking do anything here. If you get in trouble, you get caught, I ain't helping you. All right. I ain't trying to cover shit up or anything. I'm not going to protect you. Okay. Because I tried to protect my guys to the best of my abilities. But if it got out in the world, sorry, I got to fucking bring the punishment down. Okay. That was kind of my rule. You keep it private. You keep it to yourselves. I don't give a shit. But once you get it out in the world and I start hearing rumors, I'm fucking bringing it down. So they took that to heart and they kept it quiet. And well, then I'm like, dude, she's crazy. He's like, so like, I know. He's like, I ain't going to do anything. But okay. I want you to do good. Do well here and have a good finish, because you already got in trouble. But because your previous E7 didn't write you up, you're not losing rank. So you kind of got free pass. Okay. Because I don't know all the shit you did. I can't write you up for it. I wasn't there. So I just warned him right away. Well, then he's like, you already have another computer guy here. And then you got a satellite guy. He's like, I really don't have anything to do here. Well, that's not my fault that you fucked up. But I get it. You want a purpose. You want a job. All right. Well, we are opening a computer lab. I need somebody to run it, make sure all the computers are working, all that good shit. And he's like, I'll do it. I'm like, okay, cool. So he had the keys to the computer lab. Well, then I find out that his whole plan was he wanted a place to fuck. So he had keys. The lab's only open so many hours, and then it's locked. Everybody knows that. Yep. So him and T Money were banging in the computer lab. I didn't know that until I forget. I don't remember when I found out about it. And I'm just
when we were getting ready to leave.
Yeah, well played. We hand off the keys and all that, and I found out, and it's well played. I mean, you kept it quiet. You know, I
did what he shit. He did what.
Yeah. I'm not going to give you shit. And since we are National Guard, it's a little different because once we go home, it's like, hey, you can have any relationship you want. If you want to date somebody in the unit, you can. Not advisable, but you can do that. But just keep it quiet. You don't need to advertise it. Like people have been married, you know, in the unit or in sister units, whatever. It's like, okay, whatever. Just don't let it interfere with your job. Yeah, no, they thought because they didn't get caught that they could keep this charade going. So then we're in bliss. Turns out got a hotel. It was a hotel on post. So we had our nightly check-ins. All right, accountability check-ins. Is everybody here? Yes. So what they were doing was they were there for check-ins, and then he'd be like, I'm going to go and make a phone call, you know, to his roommates and whatnot, and just then he was gone.
And he'd dip.
And the same with her. She's like, I got to call my mom. Okay, whatever. And then ask, you know, a roommate, hey, you know, where is she going at night? And she's talking to her mom. I'm like, okay, but she's coming back, right? And turns out she was covering up for her. No, she's like, I didn't want to be, you know, a rat. You're not a rat if it's something like this. You're not a rat. You just need to tell because we need that accountability. Well, it turns out both of them are going to the hotel room, staying there until an hour before wake up. Yep. And then they come back. She's always here for wake up. Then whenever there was time during the day when we didn't have training or all the reintegration stuff, they were going to the hotel. So dude rented out this hotel for a while.
Yeah, we were there for a month.
Yeah, I think he had it rented out for at least a week when it was kind of, we're almost home. Because in that last week is when we found out, maybe he rented for 2 weeks. But in that last week is when we found out. So then I had to write him up and all that stuff. I did all the paperwork.
He said he wasn't coming back, remember?
What do you mean?
Oh, you were, I thought, no, okay, so that was me and Schneidwood.
Okay.
We were out in the smoke pit. We just got done talking to you about this. So we're like, well, where the fuck's he at? Because he was supposed to be coming back. Steve and fucking Schneidwood called him, hey, dude, where the fuck are you at? Like, I ain't coming back. I don't give two shits.
Right. But yeah, so I wrote them all up, turned in all my paperwork, did the counselings, everything like that. Our command didn't do shit. All they did was punish our section, saying you guys ain't allowed to leave the barracks. You're not allowed to go anywhere.
Yes,
I want
punishment because that's what we do.
Mass punishment. I can't remember if it was hourly or check-ins. You need to check your soldiers. Okay. I didn't leave my room. I only left my room to go eat. That was it. So I want legit check-ins. And if you don't do legit check-ins, I'm writing you up, no questions asked. And I will keep, I think I did keep all hard copies. So like all the shit I turned in, I still had them and I kept them because this is going on your evaluation. You fucked up. If command doesn't want to do anything about it, I'm still going to fucking do something. So I kept it all. And no, I don't think you're ready for being a sergeant because they're both specialists. And because you didn't fucking learn anything. You know, when you got caught, you still didn't learn anything. Once again, our command failed us. When I tried to pursue it more, I got shot down again. So even though I had all the documentation, they're like, no, we ain't going to pursue it. That happened on deployment. Still fucking happened, but yeah. So we get back home and these two move in together. So they did pursue a relationship. It's not like they were just doing this as a deployment thing. They did pursue it. So it's like, okay, you do you, but you know she's crazy as fuck. It's going to end badly. Sure as shit, there was cops called multiple times. We had the police called me and they're like, do you know this person? Yeah, it's my soldier. do you know this person? Yeah, that's my other soldier. Well, there's domestic dispute, domestic violence, whatever. And I'm like, arrest them. I don't give a fuck. Go ahead. If they fucked up, arrest them. And I just want the details so I can fucking write their ass up.
Yep.
So that's how it kind of ended. And then T-Money claimed she was mentally unfit for duty and blamed it all on the Army when it was just all her getting in trouble with local law enforcement and her boyfriend.
She got declaimed.
Yeah, when it was all caused by her doing. So whatever.
She has a higher rating than I do.
That's fucking nuts. It's just nuts. It was all shit she did to herself. And we even tried, she couldn't get a job or any of that shit. We even tried helping her out. We'll put you on orders. You can work here. Wow.
No good deed goes unpunished.
She wouldn't fuck that shit up. She started during all those riots and everything. She went and did a post online in uniform saying, kill all the police. Well, now you're done. You're fucking done.
You're done.
I had, once again, because my soldier, I had to write her ass up and do all this shit, get evidence, turn it in. And this time they actually are, no, you are fucking done. But then she was claiming mental health and all that stuff. So then she just wasn't coming to drill anymore. Yeah, whatever. But sucks is then she was eligible for promotion because they didn't let me process all that other shit. And at the time, oh, well, this happened during this, so you can't really use that. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? God damn it, leadership, you failed me. Yep. But yeah, that actually caused so much mental anguish for me. And that was one of the reasons why escaping to Dubai on deployment was necessary. Otherwise, I was going to go fucking nuts because I had stupid ass soldiers that were just fucking up on purpose. And when I write them up, nothing would happen.
I mean,
Oh, now I'm all worked up.
I see that. Take a drink. This is what Bobby, remember, this is what the podcast is for. It's for us to get all this bullshit out there, remember? Yeah. I did mine the last time.
Yeah. Well, I took all my mental health meds this morning, so I should be good. All my pain meds, mental health meds, all the shit that makes me put me in a bad place. But
hey, man.
Now I'm okay. I got meds figured out. I recommend mental health and talking to your doctor, talking to a counselor, because it does help. But you gotta have both. You gotta use all your tools that are available to you, and that's going to the VA and doing all that stuff. Vet center.
If you don't go to the VA, go to the vet center, go see somebody.
Yeah, but at least it's covered. Like I can go get free counseling at the vet center, or the VA is kind of going to them for their counseling. They're like, oh, we'll give you this many sessions to figure your shit out, and then it's kind of like, okay, well, I need more counseling. That's where the vet center is different. You can go to the vet center
unless the VA cancels your appointments repeatedly.
Unless that, but yeah.
That's what happened with mine.
Yeah, I was done with going to the VA counseling, and I went to the vet center because I needed more counseling than the VA could provide. So yeah, but now it's good. Now I only go to the vet center once a month, just this little tune-up. Actually, I got to go tomorrow, I think.
It's fine. Mine's next week.
Dude, you want to handle the next one? Because since you walked in on it and witnessed it
twice.
I thought it was only once.
No, it was fucking twice, dude. It's fucking twice.
My God.
Because
I just remember the one time when you walked in, it was like, oh, hey, Carson. Waved you. And like, oh, fuck.
Just going to grab my keys so I can leave. I got to go get people.
All right.
Walk up when you're done.
Take it away, Steve.
So I worked a lot of weird hours. I'd pick people up from the airport from the airport. And then I'd also ship weird shit out at random times of the day and night. So my schedule was all over the place.
Right.
At the tail end of the deployment. It's midnight, 12:30, something like that. And I got to go up, grab my badges so I can get onto the Navy portion of the airbase so I can drive crap out to the flight line and then drop that and then pick shit up. So I got the bongo truck keys. I got the bongo truck ready to go. I need my badge out of my desk because I forgot to grab it. I'm walking into the office. No big fucking deal, right? Done this a billion times at this point. Just walk into the office, grab my shit, walk the fuck back out. Walk into the goddamn office and there's be and all shocked to see somebody. The lights are out in the fucking office. There's a fucking pot of coffee. And I'm like, hey
There's a pot of
guys,
coffee.
what are y'all doing? Hey
We
Carson,
made coffee.
what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to the airport. I need my badges. Okay, cool.
Wait, you got to explain what position they were in at the
They
time
were
you
on-
walked in. Not that
they
they
were
were
on
just
top of
there making coffee.
Well, that time he was on top of the desk with Mac on top of her,
Okay.
in between her legs.
Yep. Well, I get that.
And yeah,
Naked.
there was some dishevelment going on.
Oh, okay.
This was just the start. Yeah. So I got hey Carson, how's it going? I'm like, apparently not as good as you guys, but
I'm
just
good,
need my
but
badge.
you look like you're better.
I'm just gonna grab my badge and go. You guys want to make sure you lock the door when you're done?
It would have been funnier if you would have just been, oh, hey guys, and then grab like a cup of coffee and pour.
I honestly thought
So
about
what
it.
you up to?
I thought about it. I'm just like, nope, I want nothing to do with this. I can grab my badge,
What are you
turn
guys
around,
doing
and walk
tonight?
out.
Well, actually, it was 12:30 in the morning. How you guys doing this morning?
And this morning, yeah. So the second time, is there's time too. There's technically a third time. We'll hit on that one in a minute because I can't confirm it was them. Again, like 1 a.m., I'm going to pick up everybody's gear. We're doing a swap out. So, we got first sergeant driving the bus and I'm driving the bongo truck. I'm getting all the gear. He's getting all the guys.
Right.
Boom, whatever. I come walking in and Mac is tucking his shirt back in and so is she. And I'm like, hey guys, how's it going? Just grab my badge and turn around and walk out. And I'm like, nope. That one wasn't as bad.
Well, and to clarify, they're both E4s.
Yes.
And they're both single. They're not married or anything. So it's like, whatever.
Not married, not in a relationship.
It's not harming anybody. They're not in the same section. They're in the same unit, but they're not in the same section. So there's no chain of command or any issues. So whatever.
It was a little bit of harmless fun.
Right.
It could have gone literally anywhere else. So the third time was similar situation. I think it was like 2 a.m. or something. I'm going to drop some shit off and pick some shit up. And I walk in and I hear a door close because the way the offices are set up, you know how the offices are set up over here.
Yeah, they all had like linking doors and shit.
S1 and you could walk between the offices and do all that fun bullshit.
Right.
So I hear the door close coming out of the commander's office.
Interesting.
I know for a fact the fucking commander ain't in his office right now.
Well, hell no.
Because I just saw him walking back from taking a shit.
Okay.
And I know it's not first sergeant because first sergeant's with me. He's in the bongo truck waiting for me to grab my badge. So I know it's not first sergeant.
Who is it then?
I have my suspicions.
So you felt the need to investigate because you clearly know where the first sergeant and the commander were.
I did walk through the commander and first sergeant's office, and I opened the door and I saw two people running away. So I came out of the other office door, closed that door, and come back out the front side of the offices where the bongo truck is, and I look down and I see them walking just down the road, and I'm like, "Hi guys, how's it going?" So at this time we have a different first sergeant. So I jump in the bongo truck, and he's like, "What are they doing up?" And I'm like, "I don't ask first sergeant. I have suspicions." And he went, "God damn it, do I have to clean my desk?" And I'm like, No, your desk should be fine.
Do I have to clean my desk?
Like, no,
You know what?
no.
We should do it on the first sergeant's desk. That'd be cool.
I found out later that they had, not on that first sergeant.
Oh,
previous
on the
first
other one.
sergeant.
Okay,
Yeah, the one that pissed everyone off. So yeah, that was that. I'll let you all put together the pieces. You guys can figure that out.
Okay, so there is actually another part to that story.
There's
So
several.
there's a lot, but her roommate did walk in on them also one time giving a BJ, and she's like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?" So then they got in a nice big argument, and don't be pissed off because I'm getting some action here with my boyfriend, because that's when she put a title on it. Don't be mad because I have a boyfriend and you don't. And then that caused the whole fucking.
Hold up.
It's like I didn't put a title on this. I don't know what she's talking about. We're just fucking. And then the first chance he got, he's all like, "When's the next rotation to Afghanistan?" And he got the fuck out of there.
He did. He did get
Once
the fuck
she
out of
said
there.
boyfriend, I'm fucking gone.
I'm gone. I'm gone. It's like, it was legit 2 weeks later.
This chick is saying it's shit that it isn't. I'm fucking out of here.
Yep.
But that was those two.
So the next one is from our lovely other S shop.
I don't want to say which one because you're going to know who the fuck it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll figure it out anyways. How many S shops had a female
Lieutenant
and a male lieutenant?
Lieutenant and E7.
Female E7. Not many. Not many.
Good Christian lieutenant too. He liked to preach.
He also liked to go after underage girls.
Yeah. Who he was coaching in soccer.
Right. And he did get arrested for that after deployment. We found all this
that was
out
after deployment. Yeah. That was news. That was
actually,
on the news.
First, he was hooking up with he was coaching at a college, and he was hooking up with the college players.
Yes.
And then he got fired. Then he started teaching soccer privately, and it was high school girls.
Yes.
Needless to say, got arrested. Went to trial or whatever. Court was on.
Y'all can look it up. It's fine. It's out of Madison. Good luck.
But he was hooking up with a female E7.
His E7.
His E7 in the same chain of command. So that's where
It was the platoon sergeant.
Right. So it was in the same section, officer and an NCO hooking up. So another no. And then the biggest no is they were both married, not to each other. Yeah. Right.
Again, just talked about hypocrisy a couple episodes back. He's one of the ones that was very much, no, marriage is very sacred and you should always
honor
look down
it,
on those.
cherish it.
Honor it, cherish it, look down on people that tarnish it. Oh, well, he was having a little fun with his E7.
Little stress reliever.
Yeah, it's fine.
Working late hours.
Yeah.
Well, and that's pretty much the end of that one.
Yeah.
But before we move on, that same E7, I believe, tried to proposition you, Stephen.
I mean, she asked, what are you doing over there?
My knee hit the fucking filing cabinet and pushed it in. And it's,
I didn't know. I did something pop up? I mean, all this talk of sex.
no, not that. But I get where you're coming from with it. That is funny.
It was good timing. There. All right. So
I know the closet looks like it could be a whack shack. It is not.
You know what? It just dawned on me that we both made whack shacks.
Yeah, this is exactly what you do overseas. You hang.
Bobby, yes.
Hang
No, we both
sheets
made
up,
whack
legs
shacks.
up.
We just made whack shacks.
We
just
did.
have bigger area.
Well, if you didn't know what a whack shack looks like,
That's this. Yeah. So this is actually one of the. I think I went to Dubai with you guys. What, like 3 times?
Yeah, not many.
No. There's a reason for that. There's a reason. Well, there's 2 reasons. Ricardo was annoying as fuck, and I didn't need to see him in a speedo ever again. There's a reason number 1. You can vouch for this. It was not fun, and he was trying super hard to get the attention of V and the E7. So, like, legit, he was just mad because he wasn't getting any.
He was mad because he wasn't getting any, but also, I don't know why he was trying to get the attention of the 7 because he knew she was married, and that would go against his religion.
Because it was, again, hypocrisy, Bobby. Hypocrisy.
Right.
So, when we went to the beach, remember when Fucknut was showing off his speedo?
Yeah, trying to show his junk.
Yeah. He's not that big. I mean, I'm hung like a goddamn Tic Tac, but shit, dude. Come on. You ain't got nothing to write home about, bud. So
now we're talking about dicks in the whack shack. Come on.
Mushroom Ranch.
Fuck. That's not a dick. That's a tentacle. God bless America. Is that what that one's called?
No, that one's called the bomb pop.
Okay. Proceed.
Notice the balls were blue because, blue balls is funny. It's not, but anyways.
It's not enjoyable.
So, no, we'll have to ask Ricardo if he ever comes on.
In his sexless marriage.
He's just constantly blue balled. He's never coming on here. He's never coming on.
He will never. He'll never
If
show
he
his
sees
face, actually.
No.
If he sees this, he's just not going to be friends with us anymore.
No.
Fuck you, I know you changed my name, but I know you're talking about me.
Come on, we'll hide your face. We'll blur it all out and we'll give you a funny voice. Make him have a French accent.
It's like he's in protective custody.
Make him wear the sunglasses and the hat.
If he comes on, we're going to have him do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, what the fuck? Okay, U7. Got it. Yeah. Back. I'm on track now. Got it. So when we went to the beach, I didn't even really want to go to the beach, but you all were going to the beach and I just did not want to be there anymore. Needed to be away from everything. So I went to the beach. So I spent the entire trip talking to the E7. She's telling me all about her boob job that she got before the deployment.
Mm-hmm. She's proud of them.
And she was very proud of them. Very proud of them. Yeah. You were up front with Ricardo, I think. No, were you? Or was that when V and him were doing their whatever the fuck that was?
Whatever.
But so me and Seven are sitting in the back and she's got her swimsuit on underneath her, whatever the fuck she was wearing. And she goes, yeah, take a look. Yep. Nope. They look good.
I can tell you I wasn't in the back with you.
No, I'm aware you weren't in the back with me because I was just trying.
Because I would have remembered that.
Nope. Just, how do they look? And I'm like, they look really good. Do you want to feel them? I'm like, no, this is a trap. No. Different time and place? Absolutely. No, not right now. I have seen what has happened to everybody else.
Right.
This doesn't end well for me.
Well, yeah.
No, because nothing would have happened to her.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. They would have threw the book at you.
I would have got fucked.
You would have just been done.
Yeah, they were trying to fuck me over anyways.
Not to mention you are married, so there's no reason to do anything.
No.
Yeah. If you were single, then sure.
Yeah.
Have at it.
Like I said, different time and place? Absolutely. No. But yeah, so that was my fun experience with that. I'm pretty sure Ricardo saw through the rearview mirror in amongst the singing. No, I looked up and I'm just like, what the fuck? And he's just like staring in the mirror and I'm like, okay.
I must have been in the passenger seat in the front. I had no idea any of this shit was going on.
It's fine. Why do you think I stayed away from everybody when we got to the beach?
Well, besides seeing Ricardo's dick.
Well, I tried to stay away from that too, but he's an asshole.
With him posing and flexing.
Yeah, because he was in so much good shape.
Yeah. Well, there were some German girls that he wanted to show off for that was at the beach, and because he could hear them speaking Deutsch. And he started flexing in his speedo, trying to get their attention. Did not work. It didn't work at all. It just made us all laugh at him. Be like, look at this fucking weirdo.
It's kind of like when we went to the Superdry store, the Russian chick.
God damn, yeah.
That Russian chick just had him fucking wrapped around her finger. He bought like 4 fucking things.
Oh yeah.
Like,
she knew. She's like, all I gotta do is just talk to this motherfucker and he'll buy the damn store.
Well, it didn't work on any of the rest of us because we were all like, yeah, I just want this sweatshirt.
Yeah, I'm here for
this. We were all done.
And that's it.
Here's my sweatshirt. This is what I want. And we're trying to find fucking Ricardo, and Ricardo's wandering around the store and has like 4 fucking things in his arms. That's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Why do you need 4 of the same thing? That's pretty much what it was.
They were different colors. They were just different colors. I need 1 of each color.
We have a 5th color. I already got 4. Maybe.
That's still better than that fucking leather jacket he bought.
That's amazing, though.
Oh, no, that was hilarious. And the fact that he had, 30 pounds of fucking dates because he couldn't say no.
And all that nasty-ass cologne he bought.
Yeah. That he couldn't bring home.
Too big of a bottle. Won't let you ship it. Can't bring it on the plane. All that shit.
Bring it on the plane.
Good job. Fucking giant. A fucking cologne bottle like this.
Yeah.
Like, what? It looked like it was a booze bottle. Like a big old bottle of booze.
And it's fucking honey. It 20 pounds of dates, a giant ass bottle of fucking cologne.
Like a fucking gallon of honey.
Fucking honey. They just saw, hey, mustache.
Yeah, they knew. They're like, this motherfucker with the mustache, he's an idiot. He'll buy all the shit. As long as we go, hey, mustache, come here.
We didn't even make it out of the first place we went to. It was
they had him. Dude, they all had him tagged. Yeah. Like, boom, this guy's going to buy shit.
Yeah.
Hey, mustache.
Hey, mustache. Hey, mustache.
Come
All
here.
right. Moving on from Ricardo. Linebacker. Again, super nice girl. Super nice girl.
She had big shoulders, like broad shoulders. So linebacker. She looked like a linebacker.
She had big other things too. You never saw her in cities.
Probably not, no.
Yeah.
Remember when they banned the stretchy pants, what do you call them, yoga pants?
Yep.
They banned those and then they allowed them, and then every single girl was wearing it when they were in their civilians. So I can't remember if I saw her or whatever. Every female was, can we make yoga pants? They all put them on. And then they banned them immediately. It was causing too many disturbances. I think the Emiratis did not allow them either. So they tried to go off post with those on, and it was, you cannot wear that.
Yeah.
You go back.
Yeah, no.
Command, call, can't wear that shit here.
Yeah, can't wear that off post. Yeah, they had to wear jeans. Apparently none of them had jeans. Why didn't you bring a pair of jeans?
Well, yeah, so linebacker.
So she was in Syria. I think she was in Syria.
Sounds right.
Yeah, she was at one of the outposts where they were doing fire missions. They're in the back of the dork wagon.
They were doing a little bit of stress relief of their own. Well, they were both E5s. She got bumped down specialist. He got bumped down specialist.
He lost everything.
Because he was married. Yes, I remember that. Because his wife, as he got off the plane, his wife just handed him divorce papers.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like he didn't even wait for the fucking plane to stop.
Sign this.
Yeah. Just, okay.
Get your own ride home. Your shit's on the lawn. It was linebacker with another girl, and then him. And then he ended up together with that girl. And they had a kid. Yeah, after the deployment. I think they got married and had a kid. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it was a threesome in the back of the dork wagon. And
well, that's way better than what I thought it was.
He and her were 5s, and the other one was like a PFC or a specialist. The girl he ended up with.
Okay.
So they all got busted down. That dork wagon was a rockin', and that's how they got caught.
Yeah, okay.
That and because they had a fire mission in the queue and they weren't responding.
That one.
And yes, that was that one. They weren't responding.
Okay.
So we don't know what the fuck is going on. This fire mission needs to go out. And this ain't training. We're firing real rounds downrange. They weren't responding. So they sent a runner. I don't know, it was a 7 or something like that, and went and was like, what the fuck? Open the door and they're all just all naked, all together.
I didn't hear that part. Well, that makes more sense.
But yeah, so he ended up, that dude got divorced, but ended up with that chick he was fooling around with, and they have a kid. They're married now. Okay. So, I mean, it worked. It did, but it didn't work out for him. But yes. But anyways, linebacker.
All right.
But then after that, she seemed to be a good soldier. It wasn't an issue. She was sent back they all were sent back to us. And then everything was all good. She knew she fucked up. It was just she kind of got roped into the situation. And, I haven't gotten any. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And fucking made a mistake.
Well,
but then came back.
Had that fire mission, they'd have been fine.
Well, exactly. They wouldn't have got caught. But yeah, fire mission in the queue. And
what the fuck?
Why are you doing shit when you're on duty? That's the really big thing. They had to definitely throw the book at them. So. And plus, I think we are at the end of our episode, so we definitely won't get into that.
No, I think we're good for the day.
I think so. So make sure you subscribe to this channel.
All right. Yeah. Well, then, on that note,
we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Yep.
Later.
Bye-bye. Welcome to POG Talk.
POG?
Fuck, POG. Fuck me in the ass.
Jeez.
Welcome to... You can't keep laughing. Okay. All right, let's start over. I'll edit that out.
No, you won't. You'll leave it in. It'll be funny. It's funny. Right. Welcome to POG Talk. That's Bobby. I'm Steve.
Okay, here we go. Fuck you. Welcome to POG Talk. This is Babby and Dad Steven.
So, because Bobby's going to edit this out. Bobby just now fucked this up like 3 times.
You fucker.
This is all just good fun. You know that.